Have you ever sat in a room with the person you love and felt, with a crushing, hollow certainty, that you were completely alone? It is a specific kind of ache. It isn't the sharp sting of a fight or the jagged edge of a betrayal. It is much quieter than that. It is the slow, agonizing erosion of your identity, the feeling of becoming a ghost in your own home. You are physically present. Your hand might even be touching theirs, but your essence, the part of you that wants to be known, heard, and cherished, is drifting into the shadows. If you're feeling this right now, I want you to know something vital. This isn't just a mood. It is a profound psychological state of isolation that can be more damaging to the human spirit than being physically alone. Today, we are going to embark on a journey to understand why this is happening to you. We aren't just going to look at how to fix your marriage. We're going to go deeper. We're going to look at the psychology of the nice person paradox. We will explore how the ghosts of your past might be haunting your current sanctuary, and finally, we will uncover how to rebuild the emotional infrastructure that has collapsed, allowing you to step out of the shadows and back into the light of being seen. Most people assume that if they feel invisible, it's because their partner is being bad. They look for a villain. They look for the screaming match, the infidelity, or the active cruelty. But for the majority of people, the slow death of a relationship is far more subtle. It is the quiet pain. It is the absence of engagement rather than the presence of malice. You might be looking for a reason to be angry, but the reality is often much more complex. You are experiencing a state of profound emotional absence. This leads us to our first major revelation, the nice person paradox. This is one of the most counterintuitive findings in relationship psychology. You can feel completely invisible even if your partner is not being actively unkind. In many cases, your partner isn't trying to hurt you. They aren't ignoring you on purpose. They are simply preoccupied. They are nice. They do the chores. They show up for the events. They provide the logistics of life. But because they aren't actively being mean, you find yourself questioning your own sanity. You think, they're being so good to me. Why do I feel so lonely? The truth is that love requires more than not being mean. It requires active emotional engagement. When that engagement drops off, you aren't being attacked. You are being bypassed. You become a piece of furniture in the room of your life, functional, familiar, but no longer noticed. But here's where the journey takes a turn into the interior of your own history. Because sometimes the feeling of being unseen isn't just about what your partner is doing today. It could be a remnant of the past. Research suggests that for many of us, the ghost in the room is actually an old wound. If you grew up in an environment where your needs were secondary, or where you had to perform to be noticed, your invisibility radar is permanently calibrated to the highest sensitivity. When your current partner becomes busy or distracted or simply tired, it doesn't just feel like a busy Tuesday to you. It triggers a deep-seated primal fear from your childhood. It sends a signal to your nervous system that says, "Here it comes again. I am disappearing." You aren't just reacting to your partner's behavior. You are reacting to the echo of a past neglect that was never fully healed. Your current relationship has become the stage upon which your old trauma is performing its encore. This brings us to the afterthought syndrome. This is the transition from a partnership of equals to a life of background character syndrome. Have you noticed that your partner's schedule, their interests, and their needs consistently take center stage? You are there for the ride, but you aren't helping to steer the car. You are the person they come home to after the world has taken its fill of them. When you become an afterthought, it isn't a lack of love, it is a lack of priority. And when priority dies, intimacy follows. You begin to feel like a supporting character in your own life story, watching the protagonist, your partner, live their life while you provide the scenery. This creates what the Gottman Institute calls being emotionally miles apart while physically close. It is a unique form of psychological distress. It is the feeling of shouting into a void that has a face. It's hard because confronting invisibility feels like an accusation of not caring. To tell your partner, "I feel like a ghost," is to force them to look at their own emotional absence. It is uncomfortable for them to admit how little they have been seeing you, and it is terrifying for you to admit how much it hurts. And this is where the most dangerous part of the journey begins, the shame spiral. When you feel invisible for long enough, the narrative in your head begins to shift. It starts as, "My partner isn't seeing me," but eventually it curdles into, "I don't matter." This is the transition from a relationship problem to an identity crisis. You stop blaming a lack of connection and start blaming your own existence. You begin to shrink. You stop sharing your thoughts, you stop expressing your needs, and you eventually stop trying to be seen altogether. This is the energy imbalance. If you are the only one putting in the energy to maintain the connection, you will eventually run dry. And when you run dry, you stop trying. Then your partner, sensing a withdrawal, also stops trying. You enter a cycle of mutual withdrawal where both people feel invisible, but neither knows how to break the loop. You are both starving for connection, but you are both too exhausted to reach out. Before we go any further into the heart of how to break this cycle, I want to ask you to pause for a second. If you're feeling that weight in your chest right now, I want you to take a deep breath. In the comments, I want you to type one word that describes your current state. Is it heavy? Is it hollow? Is it tired? Let's acknowledge this reality together. You are not alone in this feeling. So, how do we stop being ghosts? How do we rebuild the emotional infrastructure? It starts with a radical honesty that goes beyond, "I'm sad." It requires you to name the specific miles between you. Instead of saying, "You never pay attention to me," which triggers defensiveness, you must say, "I feel like I'm disappearing into the background of our life, and I need to feel like a priority again." You have to move from the nice person dynamic of just existing together to the active presence dynamic of just existing together to the active presence dynamic of truly witnessing each other. This means creating sacred spaces times where the phones are off, the past is put aside, and the background character is invited to the center of the stage. But most importantly, you must start by seeing yourself. You cannot demand that someone else see you if you have spent so long hiding from your own needs. You must reclaim your own identity outside of the relationship. You must find your own light so that you aren't just a reflection of theirs. The goal isn't to eliminate all distance. No relationship is perfectly seamless. The goal is to ensure that the emotional miles are bridged by a conscious choice to look at one another, to say, "I see you, I hear you, you are here, and you matter." You were not born to be a ghost. You were not meant to be a footnote in someone else's story. You are a protagonist. Your feelings are valid. Your presence is necessary. It is time to step out of the shadows. It is time to be seen.